once was a quilt maker who kept a house in the blue, misty mountains on high. See how high up the mountains are? Even the oldest great-great-grandfather could not recall a time when she was not up there sewing day after day. So she makes quilts all day long. Here and there and everywhere the sun warmed the earth. It was said she made the prettiest quilts anyone had ever seen. The blues seemed to come from the deepest part of the ocean, the whites from the northernmost snows, the greens and the purples from the abundant wild flowers. Look at all the pretty flowers. The reds, oranges, and pinks from the most wonderful sunsets. Those are the colors we think of when we see sunsets. Some people said there was magic in her fingers. Some whispered that her needles and cloth were gifts of the bewitched. I thought she was bewitched, had magical powers. And still others said the quilts really fell to earth from the shoulders of passing angels. My goodness, I didn't even think she made them. Many people climbed her mountain, pockets bursting with gold, hoping to buy one of her wonderful quilts. But the woman would not sell them. I give my quilts to those who are poor or homeless, she told all the people who knocked on her door. They are not for the rich. So she gives them to the people. And here you can see her sewing and sewing and sewing, and see all the rich people wanting them. They can't have them. She won't sell them. On the darkest and coldest nights, the woman would make her way down the mountain to the town below. There she would wander the cobblestone streets until she came upon someone sleeping outside in the cold. She would then take a newly finished quilt from her bag, wrap it around the shivering shoulders, and tuck them in tight and tiptoe away. So the people she found sleeping on the street and in the cold that were homeless, she gave the quilts to. And they were sleeping, they didn't know it. Then the very next morning, with a steaming cup of blackberry tea, she would begin a new quilt. So every day she sewed and sewed. Now, at this time, there also lived a very powerful and greedy king who liked nothing better than to receive presents. The hundreds of thousands of beautiful gifts he got for Christmas and his birthday were never enough. So a law was passed that the king would celebrate his birthday twice a year.
That's greedy. He's greedy.
When that still was not enough, he ordered his soldiers to search the whole kingdom for those few people who had not yet given him a gift. Over the years, the king had come to own almost everything and beautiful thing in the whole world. Throughout the castle, from top to bottom, in drawers and on shelves and in boxes and trunks and closets and sacks, and were all of the king's countless things stashed away. Can you use all those things at one time?
No.
No. Look at all the things he has.
He's so greedy.
Look at all the things. Things that shimmered, listen, things that shimmered and glittered and glowed, things whimsical, things and practical, things mysterious and magical. So many, many things that the king kept a list of all the lists of things he owned. My goodness. Look at all that. Can't even find anything.
That's not enough.
And yet, with all these marvelous treasures to enjoy, the king never smiled. He was not happy at all. Somewhere there must be one beautiful thing that will finally make me happy, he was often heard to say, and I will have it. One day, a soldier rushed into the palace with news about a magical quilt maker who lived in the mountains. The king stamped his foot. And how is it that this person has never given me one of her quilts as a gift, he demanded. She only makes them for the poor, Your Majesty. the soldier replied, and she will not sell them for any amount of money. Well, we shall see about that, the king roared. Bring me a horse and 1,000 soldiers. And they set off in search of the quilt maker. But when they arrived at her house, the quilt maker merely laughed. My quilts are for the poor and needy, and I can easily see that you are not. I want one of those quilts, the king demanded. It might be the one thing that will finally make me happy. The woman thought for a moment. Make a present of everything you own, she said, and then I'll make a quilt for you. With each gift that you give, I'll sew in another piece. When at last all your things are gone, your quilt will be finished. Give away all my wonderful treasures? Cried the king. I don't give things away, I take them. And with that, he ordered his soldiers to seize the beautiful star quilt from the quilt maker. But when they reached upon her, she tossed the quilt out the window, and a great gust of wind carried it up, up, and away. So they did not get it, did they? The king was now very angry. He marched the woman down through the town and up another mountain where he had his royal iron makers shape a thick bracelet of iron. Then they chained her to a rock in the cave of a sleeping bear. My goodness. Once more the king asked her for a quilt, and once more she refused. Very well then, the king replied, I'll leave you here, and when the bear awakens, I'm sure he will make a very fine breakfast of you. Later, when the bear's eyes opened and he saw the woman in his cave, he stood on his mighty hind legs and gave a roar that rattled her bones. She looked up at him and sadly shook her head. It's no wonder you're so grouchy, the quilt maker said. You've nothing but rocks on which to rest your head at night. Bring me an armful of pine needles, and with my shawl, I'll make you a great big pillow. And that is what she did. No one had ever been so kind to the bear before, so he broke the iron bracelet and asked her to spend the night. Here you can see him cuddling her.